College Board of Trustees meeting, monthly meeting. I'm sorry? Oh.
Sorry.
The Guam Community College Board of Trustees monthly meeting Friday, March 10th has now begun. Can we get roll call?
Frank Ariola.
Here.
Richard Sablon. Rose Greeno.
Here.
Gina Roberts.
Here.
Kenley McWeaves.
Here.
We have a quorum. Dr. Mary Cotta.
Here.
Kenneth Bautista. Simone Bollinger.
Here.
Attorney Robert Antonio.
Here.
We're good.
Recital of the mission statement. Guam Community College is a leader in career and technical workforce development, providing the highest quality student-centered education and training professionals. Okay, monthly minutes. Can I get a motion? Gina, can I get a second? Second, thank you. Let's take a moment to review. If you know if there are any changes, please. So, very good. Okay, do we have any comments or any changes required? If no objection, the motion to pass the minutes is passed. Can we move forward with communications or any requests?
No communications and no requests for
Public discussion. Thank you. Let's move forward with the president's report, please.
Okay, starting off with the financial status of the college. Year-to-date, the college has received $9,542,846 for the fiscal year, $6,771,050 from the GF, $2,630,192 from the MDF, $41,608 from Post, and approximately $100,000 from the First Generation Trust. Based on the allotment schedule and the billing, we are at 87% of the total request.
Dr. Cotta, on the MDF, are we trending above last year?
So we have an appropriation of about $5.5 million, so it seems to be trending okay. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good news.
And based on the law, we get the 70% of the total collected revenue. Okay, so that's the financial status of the college. Moving on to several capital improvement projects. We continue to wait for the remaining 4 UV lights and ionizers for 4 of the air conditioning units in building 1000. ETA is this month, so that project should be closing up pretty soon. The building 2000 generator that is funded through CARES funding is almost at 45% completion, and so that project is also progressing. Okay, so I'll go through the remainder of the capital improvement projects later on in the agenda.
Thank you.
But we also have a couple of other things that we completed. So at the end of the month, February, we held 18 student completion for the child care leadership boot camps. And so these really elevate those individuals that are employed in childcare into leadership capacity. As a result of that, we do have some individuals that may be interested in pursuing the apprenticeship route. So we've asked them to work with continuing education and Department of Labor so that they can be sponsored by their employers for that.
Was this the one they advertised? It was advertised on
Yeah, so
the news?
it's one of the boot camps that continuing ed has been working through.
What hours was the cohort when it started?
Oh, I want to say they average around 20.
20 minutes.
Yeah, they average around 20.
Very good.
The other thing that I guess was maybe a highlight for us last month really was the presence of several representatives. We had 3 representatives from the Lumina Foundation here on Guam. And basically, this was a result of so the college had applied for a grant called the $1 Million Challenge. And even though we weren't awarded that grant, apparently the application brought some interest as to, who we are, what we do. And so they spent some really good time here on Guam interviewing and getting some footage about Guam, interviewing faculty and students about the various programs that we have, and just kind of took a tour around the island. So they're going to be producing
I actually ran into them.
Oh, did you?
Yes, were they flying drones?
Yes, they were. Yeah, so they were able to get some footage.
One of our managers had actually took them to a particular area, was flying it. Great.
Yeah.
So the GCC people up over to say hello and the team too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they're going to be providing that footage and that final product later this summer. They're going to give it to us, and so, of course, they were talking, interested about what we do with workforce development. And so coming from the Lumina Foundation, which is a national organization, really is going to provide a lot of highlight on Guam, but, particularly for the college. And then shortly after that visit, we got an invitation-only grant to apply for a smaller grant that helps to improve and expand the college's digital presence and mobile outreach. And so that's something that we're going to be working on to submit in support of that project as well. The Indigenous Language Conference that our faculty Simone attended last month. One of the components that we received quite a bit of feedback on really was on GCC developing the first 2-year program and working with the university to try to get the 2+2 together for Chamorro language. One of the things that we'll further explore is the opportunity for students to do their service learning hours in language, in the project for language preservation. So that's going to be an additional thing that we can either work with GBOE or we can use it for post-secondary, because we have some students in post-secondary that also do service learning. So we're hoping to get that up and going. For many years, we've tried to look at, and we've had conversations with the previous director from Public Health about how we can be an avenue for individuals that may qualify for benefits offered under public health, like SNAP, but maybe either don't know about it or don't have enough information on it. So we applied for a grant to become a center to provide information. But regardless of whether that grant comes through, we've met with individuals from public health, and so the grant really is for technical assistance. And so we're going to be rolling that out here in terms of providing information to students, informational sessions, because they may be potential candidates eligible for the services. And so because we have a large number of students on Pell Grant, if we provide additional information, it helps public health provide information to people who qualify, but also provides opportunities for students who might qualify or don't.
So, even the WEEK program.
Yeah, so they're going to help us through that process, and then we'll become a information center for them, and possibly, it would have to be something that they would volunteer to provide information, because we're not capturing information from students as to whether they're on other programs. But that'll help public health, and that'll help our students gain access to funding that they may otherwise not know about. We did submit a grant with Cabbers Marine. This is a first-time application for a Department of Defense grant. And this is going to help advance their welding apprentices to get them to a higher level. If they receive the higher level, then they'll be able to work on other kinds of ships. So, but they have to have a certain designation. So that grant went in concert with the National Welding Institute and Cabbers Marine. And we're looking at hoping that concept paper, that original draft will end up in an invitation to apply. So normally they do a pre-cursory review and then submit a application.
What is the grant fund? Is it equipment, curriculum?
So it will fund primarily, it could fund the equipment, it could fund faculty, and it could fund the actual, we'd have to source some of it out depending on the levels, and then the students attending the courses.
But the end game is the certification, right?
And gain a certification, and we're connecting that to apprenticeship. So that'll help expand that industry. John's been really busy, but working also with an organization called SEEM, S-E-E-M Digital. So they've installed several monitors on campus that's going to give us advertisement and marketing content. So we'll be able to push out information to students that will possibly help in recruitment and retention.
Do the students know they're being recorded? Or is that something
It's not recorded, it's just like a rolling advertising.
Yeah.
But there are, I think, four right now, and there's a couple of places that we're going to put it up once the building B is done. I think they want to go there, and I think the lounge in E. I think there's 2 more that need to be installed afterwards. It's 2 more months, so we have a lot of activities, or several individuals. We have our first Marietta on March 2nd. The rotunda now is blaring with Chamorro music as you walk into the campus. There is a luncheon being planned for the 31st, and I think they're trying to get some individuals that have expertise so that employees can attend, like how to weed, how to husk coconut, how to grate. So there's a small committee putting that together, and that should be going.
I'll represent the board if you're going to do the husky milk.
How do you see the trainer?
We'll do the order coming. I'm not headed, so it's gonna mess them all up.
You can be a trainer if you want to show people how to do it.
It's fun.
One year we had an employee who actually husked the coconut with his teeth. But that's the old style, but he still has his teeth. So.
Not to say that, scare about losing some teeth. Very good.
So, and then, we've actually had several employees that have been departing for other advanced opportunities. So we have, March 13th is our lucky number. We have several new employees coming in March 13th. Our program specialist for student support services, financial aid coordinator. Our cashier now becomes a buyer. And then we're going to start recruiting we have an accountant that left, and we have an admin person that is leaving at the end of the month. And our grant writer and program specialist under John's office is also going to be resigning towards the end of the month. So we are in active recruitment, and providing upper mobility for some of the employees that have been here for morning. We have a personnel specialist also coming in on the 13th. So there's several that, United had an offer and one left.
Yes, we're not the only one that got affected. It's across the board.
We will also be providing testimony in support of the bill that the governor submitted for the 22% to support the support staff salary increase, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we're on the budget. And the only other one that we have is that we have preliminary discussions with the individual working to start an aviation pilot and mechanical engineering training academy here in Guam. So there's apparently a lot of interest in that, but they're also interested in electric vehicle and boat engineering.
The private aviation, we can, interesting, and we can link that with POR.
Aviation Pilot Mechanical Engineering Training Academy. So they're in concert with another university stateside, so we've asked to see what the curriculum might look like. But they're also interested in electric vehicle repair and boat engines, so,
Boat engines.
yeah. So, working on that. I mean, it's preliminary discussion, we're waiting for additional information. So,
How did they find out about us? Did they,
they're locally based, so they have a company, they bought a local company, and they're trying to expand their portfolio. Oh,
There's opportunities.
into other training, yeah. And that's it, that's all I have.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, monthly activity reports, Kelly.
So on Tuesday, February 14th, from 10 to 3 p.m., at the training room, COPSA hosted their recreational activity in the wall, which the students wrote on paper hearts and pasted them on the construction paper on the wall, and a photo booth area to take pictures, and we also gave away free Valentine trees for the first 100 students to come. And then on Friday, February 17th, 1 p.m., COPSA had their health certificate training workshop for student organizations to get a health certificate or renew. And then on Friday, March 3, 8:30 to 3 p.m. At the Western Resort, COPSA and CSI hosted the EDGE conference. The conference consisted of the main session, ethics in the workplace, dress for success, uplift counseling services. And then we had our breakout sessions, financing for your future, job search and resume writing tips, and how to ace your virtual or in-person job interview. And then we had after lunch activities. Work-related activities were led by myself, the COPSA officers and advisors, and 147 students participated in the conference.
That's pretty good.
And then,
Students from GCC?
yes.
Wow.
And then today at 1 p.m. we have our general membership meeting.
Okay.
And then some student organization activities, Valentine's grants, adult education, and also education student organizations in Valentine's grant. And Practical Nursing Student Association did their Valentine's bake sale. And then Veterans Club and Education Student Organization also did a bake sale. And Show and Sell event, business organization for student success in collaboration with the marketing and visual communication department. And that's it.
You guys are busy. How's student life here at GCC? Morale and everything? Sounds like you guys are enjoying it.
Yeah.
This semester? Yep.
Getting more participation.
That's good. Okay, well, thank you for your report. Simone?
Yeah, so just to follow up on the Indigenous Language Summit, that I missed the last week before. That was a 2-day summit. There were participants from, or speakers from New Zealand, Hawaii, and Northern Mariana Islands too. And so there was a lot of good networking, and a lot of interesting conversations I had with, this is all Dr. Aldon from SitePad. And after I presented on our program here, she was very interested in talking about their program there and what we can maybe learn from each other or talk about. It's like, sure, everybody needs a site plan. So, but, like Dr. Carter mentioned, I think it was that great idea presented about using service learning. And the teachers, there was a whole table of teachers at the summit who are our students right now in our program. And so we were able to talk about that further after in class, after the summit. And they just really loved the idea. They sort of had their minds spinning about different ways that could be done. And so it was a very productive summit. We had the show and sell yesterday and the day before. And so I went over there, I had some Caesar's coffee, and some cute little earrings that are roosters made out of paper clips. So fun, ideas and innovation. There was the Mariana's Terrestrial, what does it stand for? The one that Joni Kerr presented last time she was here, Terrestrial Conservation Conference. So that had a great turnout. the speakers, the presenters, and there was a field trip, there was career exploration, and I saw a lot of coverage on it on social media, and so I know a lot of the participants are very happy. And a very successful event here in GCC.
Are we hosting more events though?
I think
It seems like it was.
it's like we're busy all the time, starting to open up again, right?
What type of feedback are you getting from the community about, having these kind of conferences here?
Events again, right? I think
Do they like
they're
it?
very happy, to get back to the in-person too, and then just to be around. You miss so much when you can't talk in between sessions and meet people and stuff like that, so I think people are very excited and happy.
It's good.
That's good. Yeah. And then finally today at 5 is the end of our voting period for the agreement, the ratification of the agreement. We're very positive that, our outlook is very positive. We've been gotten some good feedback, a few questions here and there from faculty, but overall it's been quiet and generally moving very well. So the next step, once that's ratified, and hoping that's ratified, for the rest of the semester would be to go into training. And so we've already planned out our training, we're going to do it by departments, and that'll be a big effort to end the semester before implementation next academic year, because that gets started, so.
Very good.
And that's it.
Thank you. I take it Ken's not here. Let's move forward. Board of Trustees Community Outreach Report. Anybody have anything to report? Oh, Carlos confirmation. March or February? You can put it down. So Carlos Leon Burrow's confirmation.
It was March 2nd.
Yeah.
Yes, March 2nd. Yeah. That's what you-
It was interesting that some of the senators,
Who was that,
it was well intended. It was just for Carlos. There was no other individuals. Man, it's Senator Amanda, Senator Tullow, Senator Joanne Brown, Senator Kanata, who's new, Senator Lujan, who's returning, and Senator Fisher, who's new. Yeah.
Sabina Barris.
And Senator Torres. It was a lot of questions. Yeah. So we need to encourage them to attend our functions. Yeah. Yeah.
For me, and I know Mary was there too, the proclamation signing for Career Technical Education Month. So yes, so that was a virtual signing, so we will both have that.
Okay, very good. Anybody else? You ready to report, Reverend King? Thank you. Right. Let's move forward with unfinished business, construction project updates.
Okay, forensic lab. Forensic lab is at 99.10% complete. The only remaining, the big item really is the installation of the GPD fuel hood that connects to the BBC control. So the equipment's already here, but it still needs to be installed. So we're waiting. There was a meeting yesterday with some potential contractors to come and take a look. The proposal we got is extremely high, but I know that the chief has already requested for additional funding from the governor. We want to get some additional price quotes because what we have is really high.
So this is to certify the installation, right?
No, I have to install it.
Yeah.
And then after it's installed,
Yeah.
you'll clear the fire. Right now, it won't, the whole project won't until that piece of equipment is installed.
So you're gonna go and request for additional quotes on it?
We have to, because, so once we get the additional quotations, then we'll.
I think a boat needs to be certified as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this a change order or is this something that they had
It
to
would
make
be
adjustments?
because it was supposed to be owner furnished, owner installed, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's not, well, we still have to install it. So So that's forensic lab.
Good.
Building 300 inching along at 99.72%. They're addressing the punch list items, and their occupancy permit prep is right now at 25%. So we're hoping to do a ribbon cutting at the end of the month. We've identified the date, but we're just working to confirm that will go through. In terms of the wellness center, we did get the report, survey done to identify if there's any endangered species on the property. So 3 types of butterflies, snail, and the fat egg tree. But none of them, so they've been identified, but there's no projected impact on the construction. So we should be able to proceed forward. The financial feasibility also has been completed, so that will move along the application for the wellness center. Building B is now at 32.14%. Their structural engineer has requested some soil testing and before they do the column and the footings, but that's already in progress. So there's where building B. Workforce Development Center, there were a few things that we needed to submit. Right now, we are just waiting on the final bid specs so that EDA can approve it. So hopefully we'll get that soon. We had to do some updates to some documentation. They call them SACs. So work with legal counsel, we finished one up and I signed off on another one the other day. So once the bid specs are loaded and reviewed, then that project should start moving forward. Student Center Canopy is currently at 85%, so that's working out pretty well. So that's moving along. And yeah, so they're going to be doing some drilling and installing of the solar panel. We did pick the paint already for that extension or that canopy, so that should be going. And then I want to add one more to this, so next month we'll have the newer project. The latest project is going to be the Culinary and Baking Center, which is going to be the renovation for building 400. All final financial documents and submission has been submitted to USAID. I have a follow-up call with them tomorrow. So hopefully she gives me good news tomorrow, telling us we can proceed, but everything should be ready to go. This is exciting. Yeah, so that's ongoing as well. So we'll add that to the agenda next time. And so that's where we are in terms of construction.
Thank you. New business.
Okay, so new business. So we presented to the board last month the fiscal year 2024 budget. And the budget was submitted on time as required, or before the deadline. And I've been meeting with senators, of course my first stop is Senator Sinati, and having discussion with him about the budget. And so he asked us to retrieve the budget and resubmit to include the 22% for the support staff that is being currently considered for implementation in April. So the budget now reflects a 22% for all staff positions beginning October 1st. So that impact is identified in this updated budget. The budget was submitted to the Resource Planning and Facility Committee and the College Governing Council. What was presented is a little bit higher than what you see here. There was an adjustment that we had to make. So I let Simone know, and we will send it back to the committee as an FYI, that although they approved a higher number, what we are submitting is actually a corrected number. So that'll be submitted back to them. But the total request for the GCC budget for fiscal year 22 has now been amended. All the details that were presented to the board before are still the same.
Okay.
And so the corrected budget is $22,911,066.
Does anybody have any questions? They went through the trouble of printing it out.
Just need your approval. Yeah, we didn't print all the details because that was already approved, so this is just the,
Do we need a motion to update the budget? Okay.
I don't.
So, okay, can I get a second? Thank you, Gina. We'll get a quick vote on it. All those in favor of approving the adjusted budget, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed, the motion passes. Good job, team, GCC.
You do the same, right? Yeah, you're the same.
Yeah.
Just one's bigger, this is for the blind.
This works for me.
This one works for you. Thank you. Okay, very much.
Appreciate it. Okay, the president's travel request.
so there are two trips that are coming up. One is the Executive Leadership Development Program. This is the one that is sponsored by the Department of Interior, and used to be formerly the graduate school in Hawaii. So I serve as a mentor coach, and so they have their first meeting here. Their second meeting is and this is students from the islands, American Samoa, the Marshalls, Palau, Guam, Sienna, and the FSM. So their next session is going to be April 17th to 22nd in Pompeii, and this is paid for through the LDP. And then the second one is my final meeting for ACCJC. That'll be my final meeting serving as a commissioner on June 7 to 9 in Santa Monica. Paid for by 100% by ACCJ.
This executive leadership, you guys will take, which jurisdiction will hold?
Yeah, so they rotate. It used to be that they would be on Guam in Marshalls or the FSM, and then they would close up in Hawaii.
Yeah.
But this year it's Guam, Pompeii, and then the final one will be in Saipan. I think that's in August, sometime in August.
Very good. I don't have any questions. Can we get a motion to approve the president's travel schedule?
I move to approve the requested travel.
Second? Okay. If there's no objections, the motion approved. Okay.
Mary, sorry, I have one question about the budget. Do you have a budget hearing date yet?
Not yet, so in conversation with Senator Sanat's team, I think they're gonna wait until the fiscal year 22 audits are complete, something closer to that date, so maybe April, yeah.
This is right now, it's an active, right, ongoing audit.
It's almost done. It's almost done,
Okay.
for us, it's almost done.
Just 798. Okay, yeah, thank you.
How's our audit going?
It's almost done.
Question, Gina?
It's almost done. We've got the preliminary numbers already, the couple drafts of the MD&A has already been completed. There's a couple of things on the program side and the compliance side that we're working on, but it's going. It's almost finished. A little bit behind schedule, but almost finished.
Okay.
Okay. All right, if no other questions, let's move into executive session.
So,
Second? Okay. All right, thank you everybody for attending the meeting.
thank you.
See you again.
Thank you.
moved.
We need a motion to get back out. Any other motion? Second? Okay. All right, can I get a motion to approve the president's report? Second. No objections, motion approved. You know, I just wanted to say out loud that I'm very proud to be on this board, and I've seen, you know, post-COVID, how the schools really work together, from the student community to faculty and staff and management. And, you know, I just wanted to say, if there's any way the board can do additional stuff to help, you know, you do your job and to extend outreach, please reach out to us. Okay, I do want to say thanks Dr. Arcata for keeping the pressure going on in the boot camps. It appears that our legislature is very interested in that particular section, and I'd really like to see if we can maybe do an educational thing for them, because I know that they, the constituents go in and meet with them, and so who knows, maybe what we can do is either meet them individually or maybe have them come up.
So we are looking to do normally we have a leadership dinner.
Yeah.
We're going to do a leadership lunch when we launch the MPA. So
That's a great idea.
It's a great idea, yeah.
Because someone asked me about agriculture.
And it's,
Makes a lot of sense, right? We can try it together.
senators have been first, after something else.
Can you attend?
Senator J.C. Lohan.
yeah, when we have the event.
Yeah, it'd be great for them to talk to student leadership.
Yeah.
Okay, and
I
if
think
they're,
that's a key word, educating our legislature.
well, you know, it's communication, right? And I think the one thing that they have is they're never scared to talk to us. And the other thing is based off of the past experience and, you know, basically the stuff that GC's done in the past, they have a lot of confidence in us. So we just gotta continue to drive our work a little bit direct to getting stuff done. Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second? Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Sorry, late, guys.